feeling like I've signed up for the PSYOP of the Month Club and something screwed up and they're delivering it every day. Right? Like, it seems like something stupid comes up every single day. This morning I woke up, I had a whole bunch of stuff planned, and people were sending me this video that somebody put out last night that purports to be Thomas Crooks at the rally at 4:26 p.m. It's interesting how specific they are about certain times. Anyway, a lot of people have been sending me this, and I guess they feel like, ooh, this is excellent evidence of what's his name at the thing, Crooks at the rally. Because what have I been saying? Oh, we have no evidence he was even there, right? It's amazing. It does come back to Hawkins. He used to say, you know, the logo for his reverse CSI was one optical path of a binocular looking out and one looking in, because he used to always say, they're looking at us while we're looking at them. I've never felt that more than with this incident. Whoops. I didn't even realize I had pressed that, but you should become a sponsor on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth or crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com or subscribestar.com or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. It's important to sponsor the show if you enjoy this reporting, because social engineers want to shut it down, not monetized by any kind of corporate anything, YouTube or advertisers or pillows or anything like that. So what I've been observing is just almost like a one after the next cascade of social engineering campaigns. If you're new to Crowdsource the Truth, I know a lot of people are finding me on X. Thanks to everybody who's following on X. If you're not on there, follow me at JG_CSTT. Lots of stuff being, oh, the sidewalk's closed there. I guess they're doing something with the cement. Lots of people joining on X, and a lot of this stuff is getting shared on X. I'm distilling it down. So this person put out a video last night. Oh, and to be clear, let me just address the thumbnail, because there are some people who are like, oh, Jason is disinformation, and he's, you know, using Photoshop to put Max Urich in the picture. But also, look, we have the Terminator at the rally, and where's Waldo? We know it's not authentic. The Terminator is definitely a Kamala Harris voter. He's on the chaos vote. But the point is, I'm doing that to make a point, commentary, to illustrate to people, and you know this already, how easy it is in 2024 to manipulate imagery, photos and videos. And that doesn't mean that people say, oh, how do we know? They get to put it in a program and it'll tell us if it's AI. How do we know if it's AI? How do we know if anything is real? I think they definitely want to work on people's brains from that angle right now to super confuse everybody. Remember that stupid video of George going to the wrong water tower? What did he say? This is a confusing thing about George and idiots like him, is that within the, you know, flood of nonsense, there's a kernel of truth, and finding it can be quite difficult. But he said, you know, in your standard rally shooter scenario as written by Chertoff, and he gets a look on his face and a sound in his voice when he says Chertoff that makes me think that has some truth to it. But he says that you want to put out a fog. And by the way, that's what he's doing when he says that. He's putting out a fog. Now, this is something I disagree with Charles on. Charles hates the word disinformation and says it's not a word. He just won't talk about it at all. And he's said it many times. Well, not that he won't talk about it, but he despises it. He says there's information, there's false information. But disinformation is actually an espionage and military term for deliberately putting out false information to disinform someone, you know. The idea is, and Hawkins used to talk about that too, that whole radio tower, what the hell was that thing called? Asphodydra or something like that, where England invented, no, it was the United States, And England got it. It was RCA that created the most powerful radio tower, right? Like, what does that sound like? People are making the most powerful supercomputer today. If radio was the highest tech stuff they had in the 40s or the 30s or whenever they were doing this, and you had the most powerful one, you're super high tech. But the point is, the Aspididra, they would broadcast, overwhelm the German radio broadcasts and send out fake information. So people listening to the radio in Germany were like, oh, England is going to bomb, you know, whatever. And then the German army said, gee, I guess we better move all these tanks or whatever. And then England said, ha ha, and didn't go there. And the Germans were sitting there with a bunch of tanks and nothing happened. Disinformed, deliberately sent sideways kind of thing. So on that, I disagree with Charles. No point in digging in. I just let him say what he feels about it, and I'm telling you guys what I think about it. By the way, people need to keep that in mind. What a cute dog. I wonder what they think of the assassination. It'll be a little bit... Anyway. They must have a lot of opinions about the assassination attempt. But we need to talk about this video. Point is, it purports to show Max Urich, Freudian slip. To me, it looks like Max Urich, but it purports to show Thomas Crooks. And it's important for people to remember when they're watching these videos, everything I'm saying are my opinions based on facts. On the occasions that we're discussing facts, like somebody released a video last night, I think that's an undisputed fact. Also, two nice dogs. So I'm discussing a fact in that and sharing my opinion based on that fact. It's my opinion that that video is inauthentic, a fake, something that was put out to disinform you and send you sideways, like those Aspididra radio broadcasts that the BBC did to confuse and disinform their German enemies at the time. That's what I think this video is. Oh, well, why do you think that, Jason? Well, so let's look at the thing first. Right, so it first came to my attention, this guy, Tony Segura, that's a big account. And he's got this weirdo, creepy music. A lot of people have complained about John doing that, and I think I agree, particularly after seeing this. This is slowed down, artificial pan, you know, so it's super manipulated. Creepy music. What's the music for? What does the music tell you about this video? Any more information, or is it just making the mood weird, right? Like when I went to NYU Film School, they talk all about how music affects the psychological temperament of the scene and all that. And, you know, you would do little experiments where you'd like cut in goofy music to Psycho and see how not tense it is. We are laughing at it. So you're being manipulated when someone shows you a video like that with music and slowed down. And then people will be like, oh, but Jason, you're, you know, repeating the stuff in the window, and the people think it's muzzle blast and this and that. No. But I'm not adding music. I'm not adding sound effects. I repeated that light appearing in the window, synchronized with the bullet firing, to draw people's attention to the light. Then I played it slowly so that your brain can absorb sort of what it is. Then I've been talking about it for, what is it now, 3 or 4 days. It's interesting that none of these super brainiac gun geniuses have come forward and challenged anything what I've said. Like Gary had a lot of stupid stuff to say a week or two ago. And you know, I see these accounts that seem to show up right around the time that he was doing his antics. They all are using fake names, fake avatars on their Twitter accounts. They don't get into DM and say, hey, I have a serious job, so I don't want to use my real name, but my name is this, my phone number is that. I like what you're doing with it. And I don't say that people have to do that. I'm just saying there are different people who approach social media differently, and there's a way to do it that makes me feel like you're an authentic person who has a reason for doing the types of things that they're doing. And there's a way to do it that makes it seem like you're a deceptive social engineer. So let's explore this video further. I knew that Tony Segura didn't put it out, and to me, when I first saw it, my initial response was, it just doesn't look like Thomas Crooks. This guy in the video, although he's still not a particularly like big, bulky guy, he looks burlier than Crooks, who is a particularly slight young man. Skinny arms, you know, boyish face, can't even grow a beard really, you know, even in that picture. Oh yeah, wait, there's more pictures. Oh no, I hope I remember to load these. I gotta show everybody these other important videos. Do we have it? It must have been here, local recording. There it is, yeah. See, people are picking up even on their own because people aren't stupid, even though the FBI wants you to be too. Here's a Twitter X user, Faith. I don't even know who this person is, but I follow her because she puts up smart stuff. So everyone's like, oh, you're blocking everyone. No, people who make smart comments. She says, look at this guy on the left. He's just too skinny. It doesn't look like the same guy. Now they're telling you that's both Crooks. The picture on the left, this is the one taken by, what's his name? Nickel, Greg Nickel. This is from the video, a still. He just looks, look at the broad shoulders. I mean, he also, does that guy look 20 to you or does he look 37? Looks like Yurik to me. And then people are saying, no, but his face, he looks exactly like Thomas Crooks. Okay. I didn't even load any examples of this because people don't need to see examples of facial replacement. That's an old visual effect by now. I think Titanic was the first time they did that. Everybody understands that if you have a stunt where the stuntman is running right towards camera, which you never do that, but when your boat is flooding and Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't want to risk drowning, you have a stuntman running right towards camera. It was the first time they ever did a facial replacement of an actor in the movie. And if you go around and watch it now, go frame by frame through Titanic, when DiCaprio's running right towards camera and the boat is flooding, the face is wiggling all around. But now they have much better tracking technology. Titanic, what was it? 1991? No, that was Terminator 2, maybe 94, 96, whatever it is. It wasn't shot on digital. You didn't have the kind of tracking technology you have right now. The face was wiggling all around. You can do face replacement visual effects with your phone. I'm sure you've done it. You've seen it. Anytime it's Hawkins AI Hawk, that's a picture of Hawk in one of those face applications. They've gotten so good. Now, what the hell are these guys doing? Gentlemen, excuse me, what are you guys doing? No bicycles on the High Line. What are you doing?
No, they checked.
You're not allowed to have a bicycle on the High Line. I don't know who you think you checked with, but this is New York. Knock off the bullshit, take it back to Sweden, and get the fucking bikes off the High Line, okay? You fucking smart asses. Get the fucking bike off the High Line! Do you hear what I'm saying to you, stupid? Don't ride it! You don't come to New York City and disrespect the people and the city, okay? Now, where was I? Our friend posted this video, right, and people can see that kid is too skinny. Doesn't look like the guy in the video. He looks to me like Max Yurik. Look at the broadness of the shoulders, just the width of his chest. Who are the tailors out there? Is this the same guy with a different face on there? Because it really wouldn't be that difficult, you know, particularly if you had access to Thomas Crooks. Now, the guy who posted that video is, he runs a hat company or some kind of merch company called Ironclad USA, which is ironic because his story is anything but that. This is not an ironclad story. This is the stupidest story I've heard in a long time. Let's just consider what he's telling us. He says this is a 4-second clip. He's just shooting footage for his social media to advertise his hat company. And he didn't even realize he had this, because that's the first thing people were suspicious of is, why did it take 6 weeks for this video to come out? That's a good set of factors for us to evaluate before we dive deep. It's just the surface level, extremely suspicious stuff. Like, why did it take 6 weeks for this thing to come out? That's a fair question to ask. Everybody who had footage was bringing it out pretty much right away, and people were looking for this guy like crazy. This guy didn't know. Well, it's possible he's busy selling hats. Maybe he didn't look at the most important video footage he could have possibly shot, but okay. So he finds the footage, he gives it to the FBI or something, and so now we've got an Unsteady Dave situation on our hands. But let's see, what else about it was I on the surface? It takes him 6 weeks to put it out. Yeah, every other video we've seen of this guy, and I've been very vocal about this, is that, are these your sons? You better teach them some manners. You better teach these boys some manners. Don't advance towards me, old man. You're assaulting me right now. Do not advance towards me. Do you understand the law in New York? Back the fuck up. Go teach your son some manners. Back the fuck up. I don't want to talk to you. Get lost. Get lost. Get lost. The three of you losers, get lost and respect the law while you're visiting New York, okay? Just get the fuck out of here, stupid. Hi, have a nice day.
Why do you film everybody?
Get your hands off of me, you fucking lunatic!
Film everybody?
Don't fucking touch
Don't
me.
film me.
Do you understand the law in New York?
Don't film me.
You just assaulted me.
Back off.
You have no right to tell me not to film you.
right to film
You just
everybody.
assaulted me twice. Get the fuck
film
away from me.
everybody.
Back up, or the police are coming, you lunatic. Yeah, that's right. All of you idiots, go back to the countries you came from and learn the law before you come here and start assaulting people. Get out of here. The law is you're in public and I can record. Get lost, you idiot.
You think I'm from Sweden?
Wherever the fuck you idiots are from, take it back there. You morons. Fucking losers. That guy grabbed me, hit the camera. It's too bad we don't still have the Second Amendment in New York City, because you would witness people getting shot. But that would be illegal. These people, this is not world property, okay? If you're from Australia or Sweden or Poland or Germany or wherever that shithead thinks he has the right to tell me what to do in Poland, go the fuck back there and stay there. The guy puts up the video, and now, oh sorry, this is a little gait comparison.
Thomas
Look at 'em all.
Crooks.
Does it look like the same guy, how he swings his arms? It's only a small
Thomas
sample.
Crooks.
We have limited samples that are known to be Thomas Crooks. I mean, what were those guys defending? First, we have two idiots riding bicycles against the law in a place where it's a definite risk to everyone. They don't even seem to be with the bicycle idiots, but they want to get involved to the extent that they're going to start an argument with someone they don't know in a city they're not from. I wouldn't do this, but if it were somebody else, those guys deserve to get shot. I would never go to whatever stupid city those morons are from and start telling people on the street what to do. I don't act like this when I'm not in New York. I'm personally offended when shitheads like that come here and think they can tell me how to act. The problem is we have no police, so there is no enforcement. So that idiot thinks he's teaching his daughter something other than how to get his teeth smashed out. Really insane. Let me try to stick to the material here, see? because it's difficult with all these distractions. So Buddy Boy there, what's his name? Rock Solid, Ironclad. He releases, I'm saying original footage. There he is. So he says, oh, here's the original footage. Look, original sound and video includes timestamp and satellite location, because that's very difficult to forge. I couldn't falsify that, right? Satellite data, gotta be real, original sound. So he's not slowing it down, that's true. And boy, that sure seems convincing. He's got him there right at 4:26 p.m., right on the Butler Fairgrounds. And I'll tell you what's interesting. I looked at the GigaSync. The only camera that I have running at that time is Right Side Broadcasting, and obviously they're looking at Trump. We don't see anything going on there in Vendor Row or whatever. Mike Thyssen, when you're in public, you have no presumption of privacy. I'm allowed to run a video camera. If you don't want to be on it, your only option is to leave, okay? This is not Poland or Germany or wherever Hungary that guy's accent was from, whatever kind of socialist place where he has a right to be out in public and I can't record it. That's not how it works. As a matter of fact, what he just did is video evidence if I wanted to track him down and press assault charges. But we know what happens when you do that. The police give you a ticket. You know what? I'm so annoyed by that stupid ass comment, and so many other people have been annoyed by you. You're getting blocked now. I am on a blocktastic spree here. And for people who don't want to get blocked, or if you don't care, I understand that. Why does anybody care? First of all, what I say. Second of all, if I block them. If you don't like me, why are you watching? And if you don't want to get blocked, don't say something stupid like that, Mike Thyssen, with a fake name. If you start out with a fake name, you're 90% of the way to getting blocked already. Lots of people who use the fake names but are serious, they find a subtle way to contact me and say, hey, I know you're distrustful of weirdos because so many of them are coming at you all the time. I need to use a fake name because I'm in this industry or that, and I don't want people to see what I'm saying on Twitter, but I want to send you information and help you. That's the way serious people act. Let's continue with our exploration into this Ironclad social engineering campaign. So how could he possibly have that satellite? That's got to be real, Jason. Well, you see, encounters like that, they sometimes happen. It's not for show. I'm not putting it on. I told those guys to get off the bicycles because they were endangering everyone. And I first asked them what they were doing. Because if they said, we work for the High Line and we're part of the, allowed to have bicycles segment, I would have minded my own business and walk away. But when, Mr. Teen Sweden or wherever those idiots were from, starts chiming in, oh yeah, they had this, but what do you fucking think this is, stupid? That might work whatever dumb town you're from, but knock off the bullshit and get off the bikes. And then his father is like, I'm gonna tell you this and that. You're about to get flipped over the edge, idiot. Back the fuck up. So, a couple of weeks ago, July 8th actually.
People can see what I've got in my phone here. Pictures of Joe Biden, the cops, my broken sink, Corvettes, chocolate eclairs, and this stupid lady and her kids. And the point is, this was taken a couple of weeks ago, July 8th.
July 8th.
And see, it says add a location. So this was taken on like maybe 9th Avenue or something. These stupid kids riding their skateboards. Let's just add a location. Let's put them in Butler, PA. There we go. Where do you want them? We could adjust it, get in there. Here, put them right there. Now we could make a screen capture and show that, convince everybody what's going on.
People see that? How easy that is? What I was trying to say is, I was walking over here just going, I don't even remember where, not doing a show. And these two kids are just pulling tricks on their skateboards on the sidewalk, and I see this lady on the phone like half a block away. And I go over to her and I start talking to her, I say, are these your kids? Politely, having a conversation. And then the kids come over And that's when I turned on the camera and they start giving me all kinds of wise ass rap about old man, this and that. And that's when I got mean and I said, lady, you better teach your two idiot kids some manners and stuff like that. But my point is, when I saw this guy's video placing our friend Thomas Crooks right there at 4:26 p.m., it struck me right away that they want you to know that that's where he was at 4:26 p.m. I'm thinking, oh, is this the FBI planting a seed for some next stupid part of their stupid lie where they're going to put this out, and if this gets taken up into social media, they'll put it on Jesse Waters and then they'll put it on the news? Like, why hasn't this gotten more attention except for the social engineering nooks and crannies and the people who are really looking into what's going on with this Donald Trump assassination? Wouldn't the FBI want to show you, hey, here's a picture of Thomas Crooks. This is the other obvious stuff. 5-6 weeks, all we get are pictures of Thomas Crooks looking like he's 14. The most recent imagery we have of him is 2 years ago when he's 18. Does that look like 18 to 20? See, it's almost like it could be done on purpose. Because there are going to be some people who you don't see him for 2 years, and then when they're 20, suddenly they're like an adult, and you say, ah, the kid finally grew up, and they do look substantially different than the last time you saw them. So, again, I'm not saying this is 100% what it is. This is my opinion, based on looking at this evidence that this ironclad idiot put into the public domain. You might look at that same evidence and say, no, Jason, you're wrong. I have a different opinion. That's fair, that's valid. That's totally fine. To the extent that I'm making scientific evaluations of things, you can't just, if you want to have a valid form of argumentation, you can't just say, oh, I disagree. I'm talking about things like motion parallax and optics, and somebody earlier today said you can't see infrared light, and neither can cameras. And I just said, well, that's wrong. CMOS sensors and digital cameras can see infrared light. So you can disagree with that if you want, but that's wrong. You can say, that picture looks to me like Thomas Crooks 20, and we haven't seen him at that age before. We might disagree on that opinion. That's fine. What I'm saying is it's a fact that up until now, every single video that we got, every single image that we've seen has been a decimated, low-resolution piece of crap, and then magically this thing shows up, HD, perfect shot of the guy's face. This is just some dude selling hats, waving his phone around. He gets a perfect 4-second clip. I was interacting with him on DM. People can see it on my Twitter, my ex, get in there, at JG_CSTT. Look at how quickly they've rebuilt this. This was that supermarket that they crushed, that had the tennis thing on top. What is it going to be now? Apartments, I guess. More idiots moving in. But go on there, and you can see I posted my conversation with Ironclad. I don't want to say his name. I've found his name. He appears to be, I don't even want to say the state he's in, but it's an unusual name. And the only person with that same name, including the same middle initial, that I could find in that state is a cop. Now, I don't know if that is the same person. I don't know if that means anything. You could be a cop and you could sell, Trump hats at a rally on the week. It's a Saturday, so maybe he's not working. I don't know. Seems far to go with your Trump hats if you live in California, and maybe this is his full-time job, going to every Trump rally selling hats. I really don't know, but I did start to look into it a bit. And let's see, where is that? Yeah, here we go. So I just went to the guy's website. This is all public stuff. Nobody should contact this person or seek this person out or attempt to do anything to or about anybody that I talk about. The only call to action that I ever make is to invite people to sponsor this show. If you like this reporting, if you like hearing me yell at wise-ass Swedish or Australian kids or whatever those idiots were from, for whatever reason, if you hate me but want to watch it every day, sponsor the show. It's important. Please go to odyssey.com/donate /@crowdsourcethetruth or crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com or subscribestar.com or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. So this guy, he's got this website here. It's Ironclad USA or something like that. He's got a mission, and it's not to sell hats, it's to facilitate conversations around important topics. Isn't that weird? Shouldn't it be like to sell merch and we have hats? And I mean, does this even look like a Trump-oriented thing? Look at the products. Okay, it's a red hat, but he's got Joe Biden on there. What does that, why is, it's a Joe Biden putting on sunglasses coffee mug, drive it like you stole it, $33. I don't know, am I missing something about this? So I started to say, well, all right, how long has this company been around with the hats and shirts and whatever kind of, it's a regular merch company. So I went into thearchive.com here, .org, the Wayback Machine, and I saw that he started this thing. He just parked a domain back in 2021, ironcladusa.com. It says is a parked. This is like almost like the internet equivalent of a shell corporation, where the guy just has a URL sitting there. Okay, so we see 2 years later in April 2023, that's when they decided that it was going to have a mission to, move the conversation and do whatever. By the way, that sounds like a very similar mission to crap that we've heard companies like Maxwell Urich was associated with. Remember, he was like writing, and also that other guy, Max, what's his name? Azzarello. No, sorry. Urich was writing and doing graphic design and getting involved in all kinds of stuff. Max Azzarello was involved in these companies that seemed like social engineering companies. They would have actors and they would stage events. What was the name of that thing? City something. They blocked me right away when I identified what they said on their own website, that they're going to set up public events to, move the conversation. And I was trying to contact their CEO and say, see, this looks like a better future for garbage. It seems more difficult to turn it into a homeless condominium. They're still there. But I was asking the CEO of that company, hey, did you guys stage an event to pretend to burn up Max Azzarello to move the conversation? And they blocked me. So I don't know if they did or didn't, but they definitely hated that question. So anyway, I don't know. What do people think about this dude? I don't think that's him in the video. I think it's either somebody else with facial replacement, like maybe Max Urich, or perhaps nobody, and they found a piece of video that they could just insert a walking person into. Or, by the way, it could be authentic, and everything that I'm asking the owner of this video to do could prove me wrong. Because, by the way, even if that is Thomas Crooks, and even if that's him standing there at 4:26 p.m., that doesn't mean he got up on the roof and fired the gun. He could be the dot walking across the bottom. Remember that video I did with the 2 arrows where, they say, oh, there's somebody on the roof, we got to zoom in on the body cam. Somebody goes across on the roof while somebody goes down below on the bottom. So, okay, and the issue is, I asked this guy, like I said, I'm not even going to say his real name unless he wants to reveal it. But I said, hey, can you release the original video from your phone? Let's read exactly what this clown said, because I want people to understand what this communication was all about. And if you're not looking at it on Twitter, it's easily found. But I basically was saying, release the original file so that we can, I'm not trying to look at the metadata. There's a lot of stupid people who want to chime in with their advice for what I should do. But I'm just saying to this guy, I had said to him in an open tweet, can you release the file publicly? And a lot of people were saying that. And so he says to me in a DM, I can post the original 4-second clip with no audio overlay, but it will have my watermark. Is that all you want? I'm having trouble understanding what you are asking for / why what I'm posting isn't sufficient enough. I said, I just responded to your tweet. My forensic analysis requires the original file. I will not do anything with the file, because he had said on the tweet that other people were taking it and monetizing it and putting it out on their channels. So I'm telling him I will not do anything with the file without including your website or link or whatever you'd like me to include it. I have a typo. By the way, if someone wanted to, they could remove your text with AI or by cropping or overlaying their own logo, so releasing the original file really doesn't preclude anyone from doing anything they already could do. So he's giving me the same excuse that Unsteady Dave had. He has some monetary reason. People are taking his file, or later he goes to people could manipulate the file. So he sends me this link to his 4-second clip. He says my original 4-second long video with original audio that happened to capture TMC, Thomas Matthew Crooks. So I say, I need the original file from your phone, man. Can you upload it to an iCloud drive or a Google Drive, or send it to me by WeTransfer or something like that? Or are you not willing to do that? So then he says, law enforcement are the only people who I have provided the raw footage to. That's interesting. I apologize if you're inconvenienced by that. This guy talks like a cop, like he thinks he's clever. I'm not inconvenienced, man. I'm trying to prove that you're not a liar and you're working against me. I apologize if you're inconvenienced by that. However, supplying the raw footage allows people to download it and manipulate it as you are saying is possible. I've shown, so he's giving it to the cops, and I'm accusing the cops of manipulating. I've shown a screen recording of it on my phone in my Photos app, and I've posted the 4-second clip unedited with the exception of my watermark. So that's changed. That is all that will be posted at this time. How can I trust you with that? You are insisting you know how to manipulate files. I've been demonstrating it for 7 years, but I use my superpowers to fight evil, not to do it. Consider me the Spider-Man of digital file analysis. I'm hanging around New York City, kind of, tougher than I look perhaps. But anyway, so he says, how can I trust you with that? You're insisting you know how to manipulate files. How would I know you wouldn't mess around with mine? And right away, I said, you're right. Now, I will not accept the file, even if you send it to me. You should send it to Judicial Watch or Chuck Grassley, Ron Johnson, Corey Mills, some trusted third party. I will get it from them, and the public can check my work against a known public release. I like that much better than him sending it to me, and in fact, if he does send it to me, I'll reject it, because I realize now that would be an entree for them to say, oh, Jason manipulated the file, here's a different file. I don't want it. Give it to Chuck Grassley, give it to Tom Fitton, give it to Eli, who is doing the, Clay Higg, anybody in Congress. Put it on your own Google Drive. Just make a public release of it. And then he doesn't answer for a while. And I said, will you agree to do that today? And he's still not answering. And I say, is someone from the FBI or a legal representative of some kind advising you as to how you should respond to me? Because it was taking him a while to formulate these responses. He says, I'm already in contact with law enforcement and a Senate investigator. I was just trying to help by uploading this footage. Are you serious? No, they are not. I said, what would be harmed by putting the original camera file on a public Google Drive? It would be dated, time-stamped copy, and anybody who manipulated it could be shown to have done so. The bottom line is, people, including me, doubt the authenticity of this. I'm trying to remove all doubt. What you're doing is introducing significant doubt. Please release the file, not to me, to a known third party. Judicial Watch or something else that you choose. Google Drive, iCloud, Mega Upload, whatever. I have no ill intent. I'm conducting a forensic investigation. He says, sir, at the end of the day, all I care about is helping the investigation. I'm in contact with so many people, including major news sources, politicians, and law enforcement. Have a nice day. So if he's in, has this been on major news sources? Maybe I've been too head down looking at this to notice. Let's see, perhaps it has. But I think this is dubious. Why isn't this on the cover of the New York Post I haven't seen anything about this outside of social media. So perhaps these major news sources that he's dealing with are as skeptical as I am. Have other people seen this in the news and I missed it? Hit me in the chat. Am I spaced out on this? Am I missing something? Or am I onto something that this seems like an inauthentic video and the guy refused to authenticate it? Exactly. Why would he take? So let's say, why would he take a 4-second video? He said, I was taking lots of videos. It's possible. It's possible. We're going to explore the possibility that this guy is telling the truth, because other people who have been subtly in contact with me, not blurting out stupid nonsense on Twitter that makes no sense, people who are actually providing helpful input, they say they've checked his social media. This guy's not posting any content of hats. Why is this Joe Biden-oriented guy selling hats at a Trump rally anyway? But where is all this content of people buying hats? So even if he did randomly blast 4 seconds of video, just like Doug Mills pushes his finger on the button and captures the bullet, you're telling me of all the thousands of people there at 4:26 p.m., this is the only person to capture 4 seconds of video of Thomas Crooks, and it happens to be square, dead on, in his face, clearly him, HD, perfectly captured by a guy who releases it 6 weeks after the fact. Totally. What about Mia and Eric? When I called her, she was like, yeah, fine, I'll give you the file. She tried to email it to me 3 times, it didn't work. I gave her a little bit of guidance to go through WeTransfer, and she needed to pay for something or whatever. So we just, she made an honest effort to send it to me. She was right away cooperative from the beginning, explained everything about it, was willing to send it to me. I'm the one. I told her, I'll figure out. Somebody else had an issue where they were trying to do it from the phone, and I was asking them to do something from the laptop, and they said, I don't have a laptop. And I said, yeah, that's possible. Charles doesn't have a laptop. There's going to be a lot of people who do everything on their phone. I told that guy, I'll figure out how to do it from the phone and get back to you. And then I didn't get back to him because that video didn't contain critical evidence. These videos contain recordings of some of the shots, maybe audio of some of the shots. That guy should go back to Sweden too. I'm just saying, when it comes to a critical video like Unsteady Dave, when we say, can you give us the original? No. A critical video with new, unique evidence, like a full, clear picture. The first picture we've seen of Thomas Crooks at age 20. Isn't this all just a little bit too weird? Maybe this guy's being completely honest. Maybe I've got it completely wrong. You might look at these facts and come to a totally different conclusion than I have, but I don't understand how you could. If you enjoy this reporting, and if you want it to continue, please sponsor the show. Go to odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth or crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com. Is this a Raptor R? No, just a red. Oh no, it is. It's got the red R. I love it. Look at that, supercharged. That's great. Anyway, so get your Raptor R. Super duper cool, 800 horsepower.